Postman API Platform. Postman API Platform is a popular tool to build, test, and design, and we can also share the APIs which we create, and it provides us a good graphical user interface by which we can test our APIs seamlessly and without getting into more errors and all. So it supports variables in the workspaces in the JavaScript automation, which we will talk about later. So there are two ways by which we can use the Postman. One is a desktop application and another one is a web application. So environment variables are the variables like by which we can store the values, just like we store in the our programming. So it allows us to store the value, and it also protects us from accidental change in the values. Like if I am putting the endpoint here and by mistake I add some values in it, or I press the delete and the backspace button, then it will be a problem sum. So this will be a quite better way to use as a variable. And also we can change the things during our during the execution of all the listed API tests. So another thing is the workspaces. Workspace is a place where we can organize our API works in the team. So whenever my team will be working on our APIs, so we can collaborate on a same workspace. So workspace comes in the three types: the personal one, the team one, and the public one. So we can choose whichever one suits are the best. So all the API requests are stored in the collections. A collection can be regrouped under the folders. So we can add them for the better understanding and the better grouping. All the features are come under various plans we want to use. First one is the free one if you want to try it and if you want to use it, or like how it works. So you can work in the trial one, which is a free full of course. And another one is like whatever features we want, so we can choose accordingly. Let's see the things in action. So let me share you that thing. So here's the home page of the Postman app. So you can see all the activity feeds from here, and you can switch the workspaces from here. Let's go to the workspace. Here's the list of all the workspaces. So every workspace can have a different number of team members and all. So let's see the collection. It has my collection. So we can another group them into a folder. So like this, we can combine so many requests in one. So this is how request looks like in a Postman. I will get through this later. So, and if you want to build an API, so we can do from here. And environment variables are stored here. If you want to create a new environment, you have to just click here. And if you want to create a mock server, you can create it from here. If you want to monitor your APIs regularly, then this will be a tool for that. Flows will be used for the creating the APIs flow, like which API should be called first in the testing, and all the history will be shown here, like which API you called and when you called it. So let's go through the first one. So this is how a post request is made. So first we have made the URL part here, and if you want to do the authorization and all, so for the param you don't have to write here manually. You can create the parameter name and the values here as a form. So there will be an easy way, not just to make sure that you are not making mistake, but also it makes it a readable. So when I hover over these variables, it will show me the values. Currently I haven't selected any environment, so it is not showing me values for it. So let's just select one environment. Now when I hover over them, I will get the information about what the variable is holding values in it. So for the authorization part, we can choose so many options for the authorization. Not only the Salesforce, we can try any APIs we want. For the header part, we get the same form as before. So we can put the header part here. In the post request, we want to post some body and all. So it provided 6 options and multiple text type options. So we can add it here. I will explore it later. And if you want to, we want some values to be calculated first, and then we want to call the request. So we can add the JavaScript here. And after calling it, it will test all the data, and we can also set the variables from here. So data will be copied to this variable and it will be stored in the environment. So let's just see it in action. What if I do not select any environment and hit it? So it will show me one error. So here you can see we cannot hit this. So let's just select environment again and hit it. It will give me the access token and all the related information I want to use. So I'm just taking the access token from. So after this, the value is stored in the access token, and I am using the access token as a variable here. So this is the dynamic access token handling. So here what I am doing is just making a query to the Salesforce, and let's see what happens when we make a query directly from this Postman. So let's click on it. So it's showing me that 2 of the results are passed and 1 is failed. So this is the JSON response we got. We can change the view if we want, whichever we will like. So it will show you the message first and the error later. So whatever test we want to use, we can write here. So this is a way by which we can test. So I write here PM stands for postman.test. Here's the message I want to show if the message gets failed. So here what I'm doing, account is with the name Alan, and I'm wanting it to be this Birmingham Textile Corporation of America. So we can assign it to a variable. We can log it into a console if you want to watch. So here you can see all the data I can see in the console like we do in the browser. So it's a pretty good way to view our response. Let's switch to the another. Here what we will do, I have created a custom REST API. So we will call it from here. So it is this one. Let me show you. Yeah. So this is the endpoint I am hitting from there, and what it will do, it will return me the account for the limit of 100. So let's just check and hit it. So now on the click of this button, it got me the result that there are 19 of the records returned, and I wanted it to be 18. So if we fail the test, then we can recheck our things like what we want, and let's hit it again, then the test will be passed. So what I'm doing here, I'm extracting the account ID and then fetching all the context in the test only. So this is the automation part I'm doing here. So it will hit the request again for this one, and then the data will be catch. So I'm hitting another request for the patch, and here the fields on it will be updated. So here I'm putting the data on it, like name, it will be updated to the updated thrown Postman. So it will be like this. So this is a way by which we can first hit it, and the response will be here. Then we hit another request from here, and then another request from here. So we can pass as many requests as we can. So it will be quite slow, but if the required, then we have this choice. Now let's go for why the body part is used. So I've made another endpoint for the post purpose. So here we will enter the data in it, and it will post the data. So let's see how this works. So here I'm putting the data in the raw format, and I am putting the data. Name will be the Alan, and the ratings will be the hot. So let's just check if this works. Yes, my test result is okay. So it's getting passed. Here we can see the test result, okay, to be equal to okay. Okay, now let's just check the record is created or not. So the earlier we were getting the 19 records, and now we will get the 20 records, so it will get failed. So this is how things work. The interesting part of this Postman is, if we want to run all these requests, I don't need to click on them one by one and send the request. What we can do is we can run the whole collection from there, like from there also, and from, like, if I want to run the whole folder, then just click on the run, and we can choose which request we want to run, and we can also drag drop them, say like which request should be called first and which on later one. So when we hit it, we get the results like this. So we can check from here like which request is failing, and then we can correct them. So this is the way by which we can do this. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So here you can see the history has been updated by what I am hitting. Yeah, there's one more thing. We can have the documentation of all the API requests, which will be easier for the collaboration for the team. So I can add here what things we are doing here. So I'm handling accounts API here. So I can add here like I am handling the account API. So whichever the team member will be using this collection, so he will be knowing why this collection has been made and why the folder has been made and what API is doing what. So we can add everything to it. So it's a quite easier way by which we can see how things are working in the API test. So it makes the teamwork easy.